Alright, here's another video of working on your trim. And right there, see those nicks right there? Those are bad. There's some gashes in there. Be prepared to spend many hours, many hours on working on a little piece of trim like this. Yes. So I'm gonna use a little dolly like this. If you can secure these to your bench so they don't move around or do this or do that and whatever, they work a whole lot better. But I haven't got to that point yet. But let's first get in here and start tapping some of that. So we got some nicks through here. What I like to do, get yourself a little Sharpie and kind of eyeball. Okay, I've got some scratches here. I'm gonna put some dots right there. Got some dings there. I got a ding right there. Dot, dot. I got a ding there. Let's see if I can get that. That looks about like right there, dot. And just so I can see what I'm banging on. And then start banging on it. Also, I'm going to use some 600 grit sandpaper to start things out. All right, let's get going. Let's work on that little dot right there. And that is that little thing. So I'm gonna start just doing some little tappies. That. And some on this side. Take my sandpaper. Give it a little scratch. I'm going to gradually do kind of all of them, not just concentrate on one. I'm going to do the next dot. That one, this one right here is pretty deep, so I'm going to use the punch on that one, on this side. Because I want to direct my blows right on top of that nick. And I'm going to hit it pretty hard because I want to flatten this out the best I can. That little nick there. If I keep hitting the whole thing, everything, to try to get it out, thin all this out. Tap everything. I just want to hit this punch right there. Tapped it really hard. That's what it looks like after I tapped it hard. Now I'm going to flatten it out here. Look like now. Putter, there's still a nick there. I'm going to hit it again with the punch. You can see where my punch is hitting right there. So I'm going to go a little off to the side of it. I really got a good divot there now. So now I'm going to flatten that out. And give it a little sandpaper. looking better. Not perfect yet, but better. Hit it with the punch again. Coming. It's a slow process. It's better. A little bit more with the punch here. Punch I got rounded around the edges and flat, slight curve in this punch. Not too much, but mostly flat. Alright, that spot right there is getting better. Let's tackle that one right there. Same thing, I'm going to go at it with this punch. Maybe not as hard because I'm close to the edge. Gently flatten it out. And give it some sandpaper. Go at it with the point here. Okay, a little bit more of the punch here. Maybe a little bit harder. Okay, it's getting better. Slowly getting better. Now, let's tackle this big one here a little bit. That one's going to be tricky. I can't get in there. too good with this punch, only at an angle. So let's see if I can just kind of tap in there. And then we'll tap this way. You can see where I was tapping there. I was missing my mark. Let's do over a little bit here. Same thing. Now, tap it down this way. Now I'm going to go in with the sharp point here and try to get in there. Alright, a little bit more sanding. We got some more major pounding to do back here. So let's do it. I'm just gonna keep on whacking on it. It's pretty bad in there. Okay, that's what I got so far. Now I'm gonna flatten that out. Try not to put more dents in it. It's always a good thing to try not to do. Put more this way. Hard to get at that spot right there. That doesn't really fit on there like that. Let's stick this in my styrofoam. There. And so I can tweak that edge. I'm no expert at this. So, if you're not an expert, you can do this as well, because I am not an expert. Okay, let's see. Oops. Put that there. I like moving things around, can't you tell? Sand this again. And I think I'll take the file to it a little bit. Just to kind of see how I'm doing here, because the file is going to flatten everything out. It's going to show you the highs and the lows. Alright, let's do a little bit more filing. Don't go crazy. You don't have a whole lot of metal here to work with. So let's kind of see where you're at. And still got some there. So I'm going to bang it some more with this punch. A little bit more. Right about, whoop, oh man. Right about here. A little more. It's getting warmer. Okay, we'll flatten that out. See the little bump there? Now we're gonna flatten that back down. It's coming. So we're gonna tackle that one right there. Let's hit it right here and see where we landed. Move it over a bit. Really whammo! Sometimes I notice as I do this, it starts to make a little curve hump right here. When you're totally done, then you can take a file and just take those high spots off slightly. Now let's go here. One big one. What it's looking like so far. Better, but not perfect yet. Softly, softly. Towards the end, you have to soften your blows up a little bit. And sometimes you gotta physically push it with your hands, fingers, and straighten things out. Sometimes when I hit, I'll hit and move. Hold on. Hold everything. Sometimes I will take my hammer, and when I hit, I'll drag it like this instead of a dead blow. Give it some more file. It's looking better. More to go yet. This again. But like this. Gently. These are pretty deep. They are getting there. They're getting there. Keep working it. A little pointing hammer that had a point like this would be probably even better. I don't have one of those, so I'm going to use the very edge of the hammer here. Very corner. Keep tapping. I'm going to tap in that area, close to the edge here. Ah. Slight high spot right there. More sandpaper. A little more hammering. A little pushing with my fingers. Just keep working it. File. I'm going to need some fresh sandpaper here in a minute. There might be a dent. There might be a dent right there. Kind of looks like it. So very carefully. Tap that area. And file over it. Slightly. Probably run my file over this whole thing just to make sure this is nice and flat. Or flatter. And then I will give this all a good sanding so I can find other things wrong. Here's another scratch there. That one might not be able to get filed out, so we got to tap that one a little bit. More file. As you're filing, look at it and see how thick it is. If you're filing too much, that's gonna get thinner and you're gonna want to stop. I got a little meat on here where I can file, so just keep an eye on that, okay? Yeah, you out there, keep an eye on that. Almost out. I like to change directions. I don't know why. Now, a little bit on the very end here. We're not too thin yet. It's looking really good. Get this a little bit more, and then for sure the rest sandpaper. And then I'll gradually go higher grits and higher grits. Just want to get down a little more. Oops, sorry. Now, sand the paper again. Okay, that was 600 grit. Now we're going to get my other tool. I'm going to use one of these, 600 grit. And just zap that spot. There we go. Where's my pointer at? Here it is. There it is. Alright, so that's what it's looking at right now. That looks really good so far. There's just this one little spot right there. That spot right there. It doesn't look too deep. I'm just going to keep on sanding and sanding until that spot comes out. I don't want to pound on it anymore, because now when you get it to this stage, all this sanding and filing gets this pretty flat. You start pounding on it again, then you've got bumps. So this it's slowly working itself out. Gloves help. Gloves help doing this. Sure does. And if you are going to use gloves, these are for TIG welding. They're very thin, so you can handle the sandpaper really nice. Okay, so this here took about over an hour for sure, just to do this. And I probably have another hour left just to hand sand this. And every once in a while, yeah, I see a little spot here. We're gonna see if we can love tap that a little bit. I'll get the Orbiter out again. Do this again. All right, pretty soon you see what this looks like. It's looking good. It's starting to get hot, working up a sweat doing this. Definitely a good job to do in the wintertime. I think I'm gonna need some fresh sandpaper. Yeah. Let's do this again here with this here. Using this to get all of my file marks out. Those file marks, hard to get out. Let's get some new sandpaper. I got a lot more sanding to do, but I can show you what this looks like. There's a lot more going on with this that I need to attend to, but That's what I have. Turned out awesome. So now I'm taking some 1200 sandpaper on my little dinky orbiter here and getting out some of these fine scratches. I've got, let's see, I've got one that I'm chasing right there, if you can see it, and right there. There's 3 of them right there. The other one's up here. I'm chasing those 3 little marks right there. So I'm just taking this. Let's move this camera a little bit here. There. Oh. So, chasing those marks. This little thing is a time saver. I highly suggest getting one of these if you're working on this stuff. Sometimes I speed it up really quick so that I can just lightly tap the sandpaper on this and it will kind of do a little bit better job. It still takes a long time. There's no fast way to do this. Okay, I need some more sandpaper. Now, a fresh piece, I'm gonna go fast and just skim over that. Let's show you what I'm doing again. Okay, I'm still chasing, stay there. I'm still chasing these dots here. I'll put a dot next to them. You can see that one, and that one, and that one. So on this fresh piece of paper, I'm going to speed it up, and I'm going to just lightly skim across that area. So I'm kind of doing that over top. And they're still there, but not as bad. I should have kept the circle so you could see. Okay, I've got I want to get rid of that one, and I want to get rid of that slight dot. See that dot right there, and then here there's just a little bit of scratch. I know. I'm getting way too particular here. Let me put a circle around it. So, again with this here. There, they're gone. They're gone. So, go over the whole works. And then I look for small scratches. Still looks like I got a dent right there. Looks like there's a dent right there. That kind of tells me something. There's just an ever so slight black right there. So I got a little bit of low spot right there and right there. I can still see it. So, how perfect do you want your stainless? Right there, there's a low spot right where that dot is. Ever so slight. I really don't want to bang on it anymore. Let's try. Let's see what it looks like when I polish it. But I've got some scratches in here yet. Right there's a scratch. There's some scratches right in here. Right there. Here's some scratches. Focus now. Get the light just right here so you can see. Right there, there's a couple little scratches there. So I'm going to keep working this till I don't see those scratches anymore. And then I'll go on to the next grit. Very time consuming. Man, it takes forever. still looks like there's bumps here. It kind of bugs me. I can feel them when I go over. I feel bumps. I can see them. See if the camera can pick it up here. I put the I'm gonna go down to 800. You can see it right there. See that little dark spot right there, and that little dark spot right there, and right there. Let's see if we can work that out. Let's get something harder. Stick. Let's use a stick. There. Focus here. Get that out of the way. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. Now you can really see the low spot right there and right there. I could feel it as I sanded. And you know what? That's gonna bug me. And if it bugs me, it probably will bug you too. Because it's gonna be, on your car, and it's just gonna be that one little spot that you wished you took time at to get out, and it's gonna bug the hell out of you. So you might as well do it now. Just do it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. Get this here out of here. So let's get this here filed. I'm just gonna file just this area. I don't want to file too much. But let's get it flat. You can definitely see the low spots there. Sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forwards. If you're not happy with it, do it until you're happy with it. It's your car. You do whatever you want. Marker routine here again. File until marker's gone. That spot right there. Let's just do the whole works. I want the marker to come off evenly. After the file, we're gonna go with 800. And I'm gonna mark a spot there and a spot here. And I'm gonna try and stay within my lines. Looking good. Okay. That was 800. Kind of hard for the camera to pick it up, but I see scratches that aren't getting removed from this 800. So I'm gonna back up. That's the 600. So I'm gonna do 600 over those scratches. I'm gonna do it by hand, because these scratches are going this way. So I'm going to sand this way by hand until I see that they're gone. And then we'll go back to 800. Okay, so I'm done with my 600. All my scratches now are going this way. Now let's go back to this 800. Put the 800 back on this thing. All right. 1,000, and then we're back to the 1,200 that I was using. Okay, so 1,000. I'm gonna go past my black mark. Now, sand out the marks going this way. Get those straight. Let's see if you can see them on here. Yeah. See those little marks going this way. That's what I'm sanding out right now. It may take a couple of these. They are coming out. This is still 1,000. See? Okay, let's see if the 12,000 will get out those scratches now. So let's look and see here. If you can see any. Yeah, over here. Right here. See those little scratches? They're just so slight. Yeah, those little scratches right along there. You can see them in the shadow. Let's see if the 12 will take those out. 1200. Let's start right here. Let's mark some scratches so you can see. You see any? Here's some. Right. Put a mark there and there. See those scratches there? Let's see if my 1200 will get those out. Ah. Can you see? Okay then. Well, I don't see them, but that's because now I got the sandy marks are going across and not the lengthways. Let's get some 1500 here. I'm gonna rub over that spot there, and we're just gonna see how it looks. Do a little experimenting here. Yeah. A little better. There's still some there. So I'm gonna go 1200 over the whole thing. Then I'm gonna do 1500. Then I'm gonna do 3000 with this. There's my repair that we did with all those nicks in this piece, and that little bump that was there, that's gone. It's ready to be buffed. This one I buffed already, but you can definitely tell the difference between the one that was buffed and the one that has not been buffed yet. After I get these done, I will wrap these with saran wrap and stick them in a box. Move on to the next piece, and see all that stuff up there? I got all that yet to do yet. It's a lot. Thank you for watching. See ya.